to the first Sko Buffs Sports broadcast of the semester and of 2022. We hope everyone has had such a good break and classes haven't been too difficult. I'm Jimmie Searfoss.
And I am Malaina Humphreys, and we are happy to be back giving you the latest updates on our Colorado Buffaloes. We got a big recruiting weekend coming up, and I saw your Lightning McQueen tweet.
Yeah, I know they've been trying to bust out all of the cars, for the special occasion, and I figured I'd toss in my favorite Lightning McQueen driving toy. It tops out at 5 miles per hour, so pretty cool pictures you can get out of that.
Oh, I bet the football team would get a kick out of it.
All right, well, we have a special introduction from Meghan MacPherson. Let's check it out.
That's right, Jimmie. Welcome back, everyone. It's a prime time to be a CU Buffs student and fan. You can still feel the excitement on this campus despite it being almost 2 months since CU hired Deion Sanders as the new head football coach. The Coach Prime era has brought an unfamiliar buzz around supporters and students alike. And on campus, Coach Sanders has been one of the main topics of discussion. As Lucas High of the Boulder Daily Camera wrote in a piece about Prime published earlier this month, it's a buzz around town, a vibe in the air. It's a shift in attitude, an embrace of expectations. And we still have 9 months before kickoff against Texas Christian University in week 1 of the 2023 season. As for what's ahead, heightened community-wide interest in this football team is going to be big for Boulder businesses too. Sanders, as the new head football coach, will hopefully fill the Folsom Field stands to full capacity with passionate and excited fans every home game. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that more than ever before since we began as students here, there is so much to look forward to when it comes to the upcoming football season. Back to you at the desk, Jimmie and Malaina.
Thank you, Meghan. Now, we could talk about Deion Sanders and the incredible ways that he is crafting his new Buffaloes football team for hours. But we won't let the show drag on that long. Don't worry. But we do want to highlight some of his craziest accomplishments thus far. Oliver has this week's Buff Banter where he'll talk us through it.
Hey. It's Oliver Hayes, and I'm bringing you this week's edition of Buff Banter. I hope you all had a good break, because Deion Sanders and the Colorado football program certainly did. After getting hired as the Buffs' new head football coach in early December, Coach Prime has been getting busy in the transfer portal. Deion, of course, brought his luggage from Jackson State, and it definitely is Louis. Shedeur Sanders, a number 1 transfer prospect in the nation, Travis Hunter, headlined the Jackson State bunch following Sanders to Colorado. Shedeur, projected as a potential Heisman winner by Fox Sports, is looking to prove some haters wrong next year by proving he belongs as a quarterback in a Power 5 setting. Hunter, on the other hand, is looking to do, well, a little bit of everything. Similarly to his head coach, he has the ability to play both sides of the ball. It won't be unlikely to see him catching touchdowns as well as catching interceptions next year during his sophomore season. Outside of Jackson State, Deion's reign reached all across the nation, reeling in 4-star talents Seydou Traore and Jimmie Horn Jr. Traore, transferring from Arkansas State, was an honorable mention All-American tight end last year as a true sophomore. The 6'4" tight end was third among all FBS tight ends in total receiving yards and average yards per catch. Along with Traore, Jimmie Horn Jr. joins Sanders' offensive repertoire. Coming from the University of South Florida, Horn Jr. looks to be a great addition to the Buffs' growing receiving corps. But while Deion has done great in the transfer portal, he hasn't stopped there, as he has been quite successful in the recruiting game. Just a few weeks ago, Colorado landed the number 1 cornerback in the nation, Cormani McClain. McClain, originally committed to the University of Miami, changed his mind and decided he would come to Boulder next year. This is the 2nd year in a row Sanders has flipped the nation's top cornerback's commitment after Sanders flipped Travis Hunter's commitment just a year ago. Along with McClain, Sanders also got the nation's fastest man, 4-star running back Dylan Edwards. Hopefully we will get to see some of his 4.41 40 speed in action this upcoming season. With all this talent coming to Folsom, it will be hard to not get excited about the future. However, Deion is looking far beyond next season. This upcoming weekend, Colorado is going to host some of the best talent in the classes of 2024 and 2025. That's all I have for this week's edition of Buff Banner. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Oliver. But there's so much more to CU than just our football program. In fact, our women's basketball team has been crushing it lately. They are ranked number 25 in the nation and are headed for a big-time matchup tonight against UCLA. That brings us to tonight's trivia question. We're wondering, when was the last time the CU women's basketball team beat a top 25 ranked team while they were also a top 25 ranked team? A high-stakes question for tonight's high-stakes game. We'll have the answer later on in the show, and we'll have more to talk about basketball-wise after the break.
The women's basketball team caught fire over the break, rattling off 8 straight wins before falling on the road against 4th-ranked Stanford. The winning streak included ranked wins over both Utah and Arizona here in Boulder, earning the Buffs a spot in the top 25 for the first time this season. Junior guard Frida Foreman broke through in a big way, racking up 43 points and knocking down 9 threes in 2 marquee wins. As they approach the halfway point in the Pac-12 schedule, the Buffs sit in a tie for second place at 6-2 in conference play, firmly in the mix as contenders for a league title.
This weekend, the Buffs put up their undefeated record on the line against the LA Schools. The brief homestand kicks off tonight when the 8th-ranked UCLA Bruins come into town for a crucial battle for second place in the league. Tip-off will be at 7 p.m. at the Event Center. After taking on UCLA, the Buffs will have a quick turnaround before a noon tip-off on Sunday against USC, giving the Buffs a chance to establish themselves as a real threat in college basketball in front of their fans.
Yesterday, men's basketball traveled to Eugene to face the Oregon Ducks for a Pac-12 showdown. The Ducks got off to a host start led by guard Quincy Guerrier, putting CU in the hole early. The Buffs started to chip away at a comeback throughout the second half, with Tristan Da Silva and Nick Clifford stepping up big time. Da Silva put up 23 points and 4 rebounds, while Clifford dropped 17 points and 3 rebounds, which was a career high. CU showed great effort trying to take the lead, but they couldn't finish the job. Buffs lost 75-69.
The CU dance team recently traveled to Orlando, Florida to compete in the UDA Nationals in the Pom and Jazz categories. They placed 10th in the Pom semifinals and 17th in the Jazz semifinals and 17th overall. They have been training relentlessly all season, and their accomplishments have proven their work ethic, as there are over 100 teams competing over this last weekend, and they made the top 25. You can catch their amazing skills at basketball, volleyball, and football games. Stick around after the break where we have an update on the hockey, track and field, skiing, and more.
The men's club hockey teams had a great weekend, going 3-0. The men's D1 team won both of their matchups versus San Diego State to improve their record to 11-8-1 on the season. They will be on the road for the next 2 weeks before their next home match versus the Oklahoma Sooners on the 10th and 11th of February. After going 2-2 during the BMHC Classic 2 weeks ago, the men's D2 team pulled off a big upset win versus the University of Denver, highlighted by a slick goal by Connor Smithberger of the Buffs. Our broadcast team was on the scene to catch a spectacular goal. Denver was ranked at number 4 in the West Region ranking, so this was a big win for the men's D2 team in their push for regionals. And now here is Alex Roberts at the Rec Center here on campus to give us a recap of the great weekend.
This is Alex Roberts with Sko Buffs Sports here at the CU Rec Center in Boulder. The men's D1 and D2 hockey teams swept their series of games today and yesterday, winning all 3 of their matchups. The D1 hockey team ended up taking both matchups against the San Diego State Aztecs, while the D2 team had a huge win against the Denver Pioneers. Denver came into the matchup winning their last 10 straight, including a win 4-0 over Colorado State the previous night. Colorado snapped that 10-game win streak with a 4-2 victory over the Pioneers. The D1 hockey team had a very dominating weekend, winning 7-0 and 7-1 over the San Diego State Aztecs. Overall, a successful weekend for the hockey squads here at CU. That's all we've got from the Rec Center. I'm Alex Roberts for Sko Buffs Sports.
Now, the Colorado track and field teams are currently competing in their final home meet of the 2023 indoor track and field season. Jumping and throwing events finished up earlier in the day, while the track events are still in session. Noah Bouchard and Ali Rutledge started off the day for the Buffaloes in the high jump. Early in December, Bouchard recorded the 3rd highest high jump among all Pac-12 male jumpers. Rutledge, on the other hand, always performs well at home. She recorded the 4th highest high jump among all Pac-12 female jumpers at the Potts Invitational earlier this month. Towards midday, Lars Atkinson and Bouchard took the lead in the men's throwers in both the shot put and weight throw, while Jane Powers and Obi Osafo Mensah led the women. With the meet still underway, we are wishing our competitors the best of luck.
The Colorado ski team hit the slopes for the first time this season on Thursday at the Westminster Invitational. They picked up 3 top 10 finishes and have started in 6th place so far. 2 finishes came from senior Emma Hammergard, who finished 8th twice in the slalom. Graduate student Caitlin Harsh finished in 7th in the same event. The men's team will get going on Friday with their slalom competition.
Morgan Miller is a freshman for the women's golf team, and she is already making waves. She took a win at the Doherty Women's Amateur Championships on January 13th, and she adds her name to an impressive list of former Doherty winners, including several LPGA pros and even a few World Golf Hall of Famers. This is the first individual win of her college career and likely to be the first of many.
Coming up next, we have rapid fire and the answer to our trivia question, so stick around.
Who's the biggest Buff fan here?
Me! That guy. Sko Buffs. Go Buffs, baby! We're all about the Buffs! Sko Buffs! They can't contain us. We're the best. We can't be stopped. Sko Buffs! Sko Buffs! Sko Buffs!
Hello, and welcome to Rapid Fire. I'm your host, Ben Clymer. Let's dive right into it. Today, Friday the 26th, the track and field team hosts their last home meet at the CU Indoor Practice Facility. Then, the women's basketball team looks to take down number 8 UCLA at 7 p.m. in the CU Event Center. So make sure to pack the stands, Buffs. On Saturday, our women's lacrosse team starts their season off with a home scrimmage against Northwestern at 1 p.m. Later that same day, the men's basketball team plays Oregon State at 8 p.m. Sunday is National Girls and Women in Sports Day, and our tennis and women's basketball teams are looking to celebrate both with big wins. The tennis team will take on Denver at 10:30 on Sunday. Star player Elise Ventura looks to continue her undefeated spring season. Then at noon, the women's basketball team will try and take down USC. That's all for now. This has been Rapid Fire with Ben Clymer.
We're nearing the end of our show, but we're not quite done yet. We still have to give you the answer to that trivia question, which I've been wondering this whole time. Remember, we asked you, when was the last time the CU women's basketball team beat a top 25 ranked team while they were also a top 25 ranked team? And the answer is, drum roll please, January 7th, 2004. The Buffs are ranked 14th, and they beat the 24th ranked Baylor Bears on the road. Hopefully they'll be able to update that stat tonight.
And we simply cannot end the show tonight without showing you this tweet. CU Buffs football posted this picture of Deion Sanders with 98-year-old Buffs superfan Peggy. This picture touched the hearts of every Buffs football fan. We love Peggy, and now we love Coach Prime.
And that is all we got for you today. Thank you for joining us on the first broadcast of the year on Sko Buffs Sports. I'm Jimmie Searfoss.
And I'm Malaina Humphreys, and thank you for tuning in for our first show of 2023. We'll see you next week, Buff fans.